Hey everyone, welcome back to EasySpeakWorld with Maya and Ethan, your favorite place where you learn real English through real conversations. Okay, so I need to ask you something, and I want you to be really honest with me. Have you ever just woken up one morning, everything is fine, like nothing bad has happened, no big problem, no deadline, and you still feel this weird heaviness, this low-level stress that you can't even explain?
Yeah,
Like you're sitting there having your coffee, the sun is out, your phone hasn't exploded with bad news, and you still feel this kind of tightness in your chest, in your head. And the worst part, you don't even know why.
I know exactly what you mean. Actually, I had that just last week. Woke up, everything was objectively fine, and I still felt, I don't know, like something bad was about to happen.
Yes, that feeling. And as always, I've got Ethan here with me, and today we are going to talk about something that I think so many of us experience but almost never talk about out loud. This idea of feeling stressed for no apparent reason. And I think it's one of those things where the moment someone else names it, you feel this huge wave of relief. Like, oh, it's not just me.
Yeah, Maya, and I think that's actually a really important point right there. Because one of the most stressful parts of this kind of anxiety is that voice in your head saying, why am I even stressed? Nothing is wrong. What is wrong with me? And that second layer of stress, stressing about being stressed, can actually make it so much worse.
Oh, absolutely. It's like you double the weight. You've got the original feeling, and then you've got the guilt on top of it. I should be grateful. I should be fine. Look at my life. And that guilt just pushes the stress deeper.
Exactly.
Okay, before we go further, I want to ask you something. If this sounds familiar to you, if you've ever had that morning where everything looks fine but feels heavy, drop a comment down below and tell us. Are you more of a person who talks about stress openly, or are you someone who just quietly carries it and hopes it goes away? I'm genuinely curious. And while you're down there, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help us reach more people who need this kind of content.
So let's actually dig into this, because I think the first thing worth understanding is that this feeling, this stress with no obvious cause, it's actually incredibly common. Like it's not rare. It's not a sign that you're broken.
Right. And I think there's even a word for this kind of low-level background stress. Some people call it ambient anxiety, which I love because the word ambient, like ambient music, means it's just there in the background. Not loud, not dramatic. It's not a panic attack. It's more like a low hum.
That's a great description. Ambient, like it surrounds you. And ambient anxiety is exactly that. It doesn't scream at you. It just quietly makes everything feel a little harder than it should.
And I think especially now, with everything happening in the world, with social media, with the pace of life, a lot of people are walking around with this ambient anxiety, and they've just accepted it as normal. Like, oh, this is just how I feel. This is just life.
Which is sad when you think about it, because it doesn't have to be that way. And the first step, honestly, is just naming it. Saying, I feel stressed. I don't know why. And that is okay.
Naming it. Yes. I want to stop on that for a second because there's actually a really interesting idea in psychology. I think the phrase is name it to tame it, which basically means when you put a word to an emotion, your brain actually calms down a little. It stops treating the feeling like a mystery threat.
Ah, I love that. Name it to tame it. So instead of just feeling this vague wave of unease and trying to push it away, you stop and say, okay, this is anxiety. This is stress. I see you. And somehow that act of labeling it takes away some of its power.
It really does. I've tried this. It sounds almost too simple, but it works. You just sort of acknowledge the feeling. Hey, stress, I see you. You can sit there, but you're not in charge today.
I like that. You can sit there, but you're not in charge today. That's actually a really healthy way to think about it.
Okay, so let's talk about the why, because even though we said you don't need a reason to feel this way, it does help to understand what might be causing it, because sometimes there is a cause, we're just not seeing it.
Right. So one of the biggest causes of what I'd call mystery stress, and that's just my phrase for it, is the accumulation of small things. Not one big thing,
100 tiny things.
Oh, yes, this is so real.
Like maybe your sleep has been slightly off for a week, and you had one awkward conversation with a friend that you never properly resolved, and you've had a few too many coffees, and you've been doom scrolling before bed.
And none of those things alone would stress you out, but
Together, they stack up, and suddenly your nervous system is like, okay, we are at capacity. Everything feels like a threat now. And your brain doesn't send you a report saying, hey, here's the list of 73 small things that got us here. It just gives you the feeling.
I love that. It just gives you the feeling without the invoice, without the explanation. And so you wake up stressed and you think, what is this about? And the honest answer is, it's about everything and nothing. It's the accumulation.
Exactly. And I think this is actually really important for English learners to think about too, because we have a word for this kind of situation. We call it overwhelm, or being overwhelmed. Have you heard that word?
Good one. Let's actually talk about that. So, overwhelmed. This is a really common word in everyday English. It means when there's too much stress, too many tasks, too many feelings, and your system can't handle it all at once. You feel like you're drowning in it.
And the key thing is you can feel overwhelmed even without a dramatic cause. Like you can be overwhelmed by small things. I'm overwhelmed by my to-do list. She felt overwhelmed at the party. He looked overwhelmed when they asked him to speak.
Great examples. So if someone asks you, why do you seem stressed? One very natural, honest response is just, honestly, I just feel a bit overwhelmed right now. I'm not sure why.
And that is a real human English sentence that people say. That's not textbook. That's just a real thing people say.
And the beautiful thing is, most people, when you say that to them, they don't push back. They don't say, well, what specifically are you overwhelmed by? They usually just say, yeah, I get that.
Which brings me to something I really wanted to talk about, the way we talk about stress in English. Because there are some expressions that are so natural and so common and so useful.
Oh, yes. Let's do this. Stay with us on this part, because later we're going to share some really practical phrases you can use when you want to describe this feeling in English. Real phrases, not textbook.
So, one phrase I hear all the time is, I've got a lot on my plate right now.
Yes, I love that one. Your plate, like a dinner plate, represents your capacity, what you can handle. And when there's too much on your plate, it's full. You're full. You can't take more.
And it's so polite. It's not dramatic. If someone asks, hey, can you help me with this? You can say, I'd love to, but honestly, I've got a lot on my plate right now.
Another one I use, and I use this a lot, is my mind is everywhere today.
Yes, that's a great one.
Like your mind is not focused. It's scattered. It's in 10 places at once. I'm sorry I keep forgetting things. My mind is just everywhere today.
And there's also, I feel like I'm running on empty.
Oh, running on empty, like a car that's almost out of fuel. You're still going, but barely. There's nothing left in the tank.
Yeah, I've been so busy this week, I'm honestly running on empty. It's a brilliant phrase because it captures that feeling of being exhausted but still pushing through.
Right. You're not stopped. You're not broken. You're just out of fuel, and you need to refill, which is such a healthy, honest way to describe yourself.
So let's talk about what to actually do when this feeling hits. Because I think one of the traps people fall into is that when they feel stressed for no reason, they try to think their way out of it.
Yes, they try to solve it.
Exactly. They go, okay, what is the problem? Let me find the problem. Let me list the problems. Let me fix the problems. And sometimes that works. But when the stress is ambient, when it's the accumulation kind, trying to solve it with your brain doesn't usually help because there's no single problem to find.
It's like trying to grab fog.
Yes, perfect. You can't grab fog. You just have to let it pass.
And I think that's actually one of the most comforting things someone ever said to me about anxiety. They said, you don't have to fix it. You just have to let it move through you. And I remember thinking, oh, that changes everything. I don't have to fight it. I just have to let it pass.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And there's a word for that approach. It's called acceptance. In psychology, especially in something called mindfulness, accepting the feeling doesn't mean you like it. It doesn't mean you want it. It just means you stop fighting it. And when you stop fighting it,
it usually loses power.
Okay, wait, can we actually talk about the word mindfulness for a second? Because it gets used so much, and sometimes I feel like people don't know what it actually means.
Yeah, fair point. So, mindfulness basically means being present, paying attention to right now, what you can hear, what you can feel, what's actually happening, instead of being lost in your thoughts about the past or the future.
And the genius of it is that anxiety almost always lives in the future. What if this happens? What if that goes wrong? What if I can't handle it? It's rarely about right now. And mindfulness pulls you back to right now, where usually things are actually okay.
Right. If you stop and ask yourself, am I okay right now, in this exact moment? Very often the answer is yes. The stress is about something imagined, something that hasn't happened.
And this is not me saying the fear isn't real. The feeling is completely real, but the cause is usually a future that may never come.
So, what are some practical things, real simple things you can do when the unnamed stress shows up?
Okay, I love this. Let's give people tools. First one, and I know this sounds almost too simple, but move your body. Genuinely, go for a walk, do 10 minutes of stretching, dance in your kitchen, whatever it is. Because stress is physical as much as mental, your body is holding it, and movement helps your body process and release it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's actually a lot of science behind this. Physical movement tells your nervous system, we're okay, we survived, the threat is gone. And it helps lower that cortisol, that stress hormone that's been building up.
Second thing, and this ties into what we talked about earlier, name it. Even just say out loud, I feel stressed right now, and I don't know why, and that's okay. Just saying it out loud, even to yourself, is powerful because you're not pretending it isn't there.
Third thing, and this is one of my personal favorites, limit the inputs. If you're already overwhelmed, don't add more noise. Put the phone down. Don't check the news. Don't open social media for an hour. Because a lot of what keeps our ambient anxiety high is the constant stream of information and comparison and urgency.
Oh, this is so true. Every time I reach for my phone when I'm already stressed, I always feel worse after, not better.
And the phone feels like comfort, but it's often just more stimulation, more input for an already overwhelmed system.
See, that's the thing. We reach for distraction when what we actually need is rest, and those are very different things.
Distraction versus rest. That's actually a really important distinction. Distraction keeps your mind busy. Rest lets your mind be quiet.
And a lot of people have forgotten how to rest, like actual rest, sitting quietly, doing nothing, not listening to a podcast, not watching something, not scrolling, just being.
Which honestly can feel uncomfortable at first because we're not used to it. And the moment it gets quiet, all those feelings come up. And that's actually okay. Let them come up, let them exist, and then let them pass.
Okay, I want to come back to the language side of this, because I know that's why so many of you are here, and I want to make sure we're giving you good, real English to use.
Yes. So let's collect the phrases from today. Because honestly, these are phrases you can use tomorrow.
I feel a bit overwhelmed right now. Honest, clear, human.
I've got a lot on my plate at the moment. Polite, natural, explains why you need space.
My mind is everywhere today. Light, relatable, casual.
I'm running on empty. Great for when you're exhausted but functioning.
I just need a moment to decompress. Decompress means to let the pressure out, like releasing pressure from a bottle. After that meeting, I just need to decompress for a bit.
And one of my favorites, I think I just have a lot going on under the surface. That one is so real. It says, there's more happening inside me than I can fully explain right now.
I love that one. A lot going on under the surface. It's honest without being dramatic. It invites understanding without demanding it.
You know, I think the big message from today, if we had to put it in one sentence, is it's okay to not know why you feel the way you feel. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't have to fix it immediately. Sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is just say, I'm not okay right now, and I'm going to give myself a little grace.
Grace. That's such a beautiful word to end on.
Giving yourself grace means being gentle with yourself, not judging, not pushing, not demanding that you be okay faster than you can be.
Yeah. We're often so much harder on ourselves than we would ever be on a friend. If your best friend said, "I feel stressed and I don't know why," you wouldn't say, "Well, figure it out. You have no reason to feel that way." You'd say, "I hear you. That sounds hard. Let's get some tea."
Yes, be your own best friend. Get yourself some imaginary tea.
Exactly.
Okay, beautiful people, that's a wrap on today's episode. I hope something in here hit home for you, and I hope you feel a little less alone in whatever you're carrying today.
And if you're learning English through this, genuinely well done. Listening to a full conversation like this is one of the most powerful ways to improve. Your ears are getting trained, your vocabulary is growing, you're doing it.
If you enjoyed today, please subscribe. It genuinely helps us grow. Leave a comment below with, do you talk about stress openly, or do you tend to keep it quiet? I'm really curious about that. And share this with someone you know who might need to hear it today.
Take care of yourselves, everyone.
Always. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.